Now, this has been an age-old debate, and people get all worked up. But we're upstate New York.
Only upstate if New York starts in New York City.
Well, let me explain. So they did a survey a couple years back, and they asked all of New York State, where is upstate? Where's the line? Only like 20% of the people believed it included the Hudson Valley as downstate. Pretty much the majority of the state believes that upstate begins either in the New York City border or Westchester. And it makes sense. It really does. Because if you take a train from the Hudson Valley down to New York City, you notice things change drastically once you hit like Yonkers, White Plains in that area. It looks like New York City. There's bigger buildings. There's more of a hustle and bustle. Less people wearing flannel shirts and driving pickup trucks. But if you take a train from Dutchess County, the Hudson Valley, up to Syracuse, it all looks the same. We're all the same. We're upstate. But here's the thing: I don't understand. People get upset about this. What is the shame in being upstate New York? I don't understand why people here need to be geographically associated with New York City. Why?
I don't think there's any shame in it. It's just that if you look at a map of New York, we don't really look like we're upstate. It looks very much
What do you mean we don't
downstate.
look like?
We're upstate from we're
New York.
upstate from the very bottom of the border.
The whole reason why they call it upstate New York is because the city is called New York. The state is called New York. So where do you live? I live in New York. Where? New York City or upstate New York.
So that's it. There's just
upstate from New York.
Two spots.
That's
New
it.
York City and upstate. So, but if somebody lives in Rochester,
they live in upstate New York.
Yeah, they do. Unless they live in downstate. If you're looking at them from up by the Canadian border there. So
it's apples and oranges.
I get what you're saying, but I feel like I want to argue with you a little bit about this.
I know, and people get upset because they think that maybe we're lumping us in with the rest of the state. We're not. We still live in the Hudson Valley. It's like saying people from New York City. You're from New York City. Well, people live in Queens. People live in Manhattan. People live in Brooklyn. There are different parts of New York City, just like there's different parts of upstate New York. I love the Hudson Valley. Hudson Valley is a great part. We should be proud of it. It's not as crap hole like Western New York.
From the southern border, we are definitely upstate New York. Yeah. But it's just like, people call Ohio the Midwest. Okay. Oh, the Midwest, Ohio. Ohio is so not the Midwest. It's the Mideast, if it's anything. It's 2 states away. And just like the Hudson Valley is not.
You're confusing it. You're making it too complicated.
So
it's
upstate.
Not. It's not New York City. It's New York State. It's upstate New York.
From New York City.
From New York City. Yeah, and that's the line.
But from the middle, if you go from the middle of the
anything.
state,
You can say that with anything.
Middle of the state.
Yeah. So from Watertown, everything is downstate.
But take it. Just go to the middle of the state. Go to the middle of the state, like Albany.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just looking at the facts and the polls and the geographic area. It's just a fact that we're in upstate New York. Just deal with it. And why get upset about it? Why? I don't understand the anger and the frustration with we're part of upstate New York. We're the best part of upstate New York. We're the Hudson Valley. Awesome for us.
We are the Hudson Valley, and
we're nothing like Westchester, New York City. We don't look anything like that area geographically. Anything. We're not. So why are we kidding ourselves thinking that we're part of New York? We're not. We're not part of New York City.
I get that, but I don't think just not being upstate means we have to be part of New York City. We can be our own thing. We're not.
We are. We're the Hudson Valley, part of upstate New York.
Whatever.